What's up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. I'm going to start talking before you guys start coming on. As you guys are coming on, of course, comment, like the video, and I'll get to any questions that you guys have any for me. So let me start doing that. And of course, I appreciate you guys being in here. I will be monitoring, as you can see actually, right here. You see this screen? It's vertical. I just bought this screen, so I got 5 screens going on right now. But let me show you guys what I'm planning to do today. Let's go over here. TV screen. Nope, screen 2. So let's go over really quick. The price of Chia right now is ridiculously high. I'm really shocked. But then, of course, Bitcoin is just as high right now. So it's hitting. I actually had some money into Bitcoin and I sold it. I made a small profit, not a hell of a whole lot, but decent. All right. I'm not gonna announce how much was there, but it was not life changing. Let me just put it that way. But anyway, hey, what's going on? Thank you for joining the live stream. All right, guys. So what I want to talk about today is 2 things. One, follow-up news onto the MMX and the whole GPU thing going on with it and the plot compression. There's a lot of confusion about that. I'm a little confused about it. It hasn't happened for Chia plots yet. It's just for MMX plots. But before we get into that, let's go over some of the high-level stuff on where Chia is right now. $32.49. Also, the pair counts, the amount of nodes on the network right now has been growing a little more. The last time I believe I spoke about it was in 119,000. Right now we're at 126,452. I know there are additional people jumping on this project as we're talking about it more. It's getting more recognition. Also, a lot of the contribution to the 126,000 can be also from the Evergreen miner being purchased and turned on, because there are other YouTubers, actually a whole bunch of other YouTubers, but one very specific one has been talking about the Evergreen miner very extensively, because obviously he has a partnership in that, because he so we'll leave it at that. Anyway, I am part of GG Pool. All right, I'm right over here. Pour in, you see that? 277.4 TIBs. That's where I stand. Hard drives have been getting ridiculously cheaper now. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Does that mean, because when Chia was at its height, these hard drives were crazy expensive. Now that Chia isn't so much in the limelight, it hasn't been on the main news as much as, actually, if anything, all crypto news has been nothing but bad news recently. There's nothing that has been good in that sector for quite some time now. Hard drives are ridiculously getting lower. It's less than $10 per terabyte, as you can see here. These are functioning hard drives, and these are SATA, not even SAS drives. Usually SAS drives, enterprise level drives, are a little cheaper. All right. So this is going to lead into my whole segment of how is Chia profitable, and we'll get into that. So here, yo, bro, why are people saying that you're going to have to replot your drives? All right, here's what I've heard in regards to that. Supposedly, if you replot to the newer plots, your percentage of hitting blocks are higher, which I find to be really bullshit, right? Because now you're getting people who have petabytes, huge farms with these old plots. Are you forcing them to replot just because so they can hit more blocks? Or are they winning enough blocks based on the fact that they have enough quantity of plots to offset that difference? You know what I mean? So let's give, for an example, myself. Let's just say I only was plotting on a 12 terabyte drive on these old plots. And if the announcement is, oh, you have a 10 or 15% or even 20% chance of winning more blocks if you replot the 12 terabyte to the newer plots, all right, fine, I can do that. But if I had any more than that, possibly, and maybe not go into, I don't know. I honestly, I would not personally replot everything that I have, nor would I even separate the difference between splitting the load on half of them, replot half and do the other half. I just wouldn't do it. So honestly, I would just stick with what I have right now. It's so far, I mean, I don't know if that extra percentage, now this is just me talking about what I know in that aspect. I don't know the full details if an individual needs to replot or not. I do not know that. So I would probably, at most right now, I would do more research on that. I haven't found a hell of a whole lot. But let me get into the topic of what I wanted to discuss today. All right, so right here, there was a post on Facebook today. Well, not today, yesterday. You can see right here, yesterday 153. It might be better to just buy the coins than burn burn electricity right now, right? Electricity cost is high, depending on the region of the, whatever part of the world that you're in. It's not cheap. Let's just put it that way. And it really depends on where you're situated. Do you have free electricity? Some may argue the point and say, well, I have solar. I mean, to have the solar installed, there was a cost to that. And, you really have to factor in, did you put in this entire solar, on your roof just to mine chia or farm chia? Unless you had a real use case for the solar, meaning powering your appliances, your electricity when, as a backup, right? So having a solar installed just for chia is, in my opinion, is a very headstrong, very, wow, you have a lot of confidence in this project, that's for sure. Let's just put it that way. So let me go back into the topic of this. Is it better to just buy the coins than to farm chia right now? So, Rick, I'm putting you on blast, not in a negative way, but in a positive light, because you came back and said, really, chia is the most profitable coin to farm right now. And I had to think about that for a second. And of course, you could start reading on and continuing on from where we are here. I said, in regards to Rick Shepard, at what capacity before you start earning in the positive? I'm very, very curious. So he comes back and he gave me some really great details about it. Now, I can't totally be on his side because the numbers that he gave me is obviously a lot different from what numbers I'm going to be experiencing. And when I say the numbers, mainly, it will be at what price did you purchase your hard drives, your hardware, your plotting, and most importantly, the electricity usage. How much electricity did you use to plot 600 terabytes? All right, so we'll go into the details here. And he comes back and says that it really depends on a specific farm, including the power drawer of the farm PC and the amount of drives attached. My question was specifically to him, not in general, any other farmer. I really didn't care about any other farmer besides him because he made this really bold statement that chia is the most profitable coin right now. So, and I go on and I say, I understand what you're saying about for yourself, 600 terabyte, you're in the positive. What was the cost to get to 600 terabyte hardware and the plotting electricity? I didn't really think it was an interesting question. It was just trying to dig a little deeper to find out why someone would say this is very profitable. So to begin, the plot costs around 0.05 cents. So that's like 7 cents per kilowatt, a kilowatt per plot. For 600 TIBs is 6,060 plots, he's saying. So at my rate of 10 cents per kilowatt, that comes out to about $46 to plot. 6,060 plots cost him $46 to plot. That's pretty cheap. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cheap in electricity cost only. We don't know what his hardware cost is, but we'll get into those details in a little bit. All right. So I won't even calculate GPUs at the moment because losing money daily will never ROI. I didn't really care for the GPU. I didn't want this to be Chia is more profitable than GPU mining. All right, that's fine. But how is Chia profitable on its own, regardless if there was any GPU mining going on at all, right? So my point was, I was trying to figure out at what point in time, or what point in far as how much capacity you have, how much electricity you would need to use in order for you to be profitable. And I really enjoyed the details that he gave me here. All right. So let's go over here. I won't even calculate GPUs at the moment. That's fine. We're not talking about GPUs. That said, the depreciation schedule is shorter, but the return percentage is about the same. Now, what about buying the coin XCH? That's hard to say given we have no idea where it's going to land. Let's say it goes to 4x, which is my selling point. So he's saying from this point on right now at $32, 4x is what I'm assuming he's saying. 4 times this amount he would sell. So that would be like over $120. Let's just give him $120. All right, let's around there, right? Oh, actually, that's what he actually said, $120. Okay, so 5K investment now will yield about $20,000 in the next run. I mean, you have to be really hopeful for the next run. That's pretty, you know, that's gonna be, whew, you can't hold your breath for that because we don't know if that will ever happen. All right, guys. So you have to understand, you're taking a risk, you're taking a chance right now. He's spending 5K. 5K is a lot of money. Possibly, you know, not just me. I'm not saying 5K in general. I am saying 5K in general is a lot of money. That's a lot of food on the table. That's a lot of clothes in the closet. That's a lot of gas in the car. A lot of things. $5,000 is not cheap. But mind you, we don't know if or when this will ever turn around. Meaning $32 now for an XCH does not necessarily mean that it will 4 or 5 times in 5 years from now, even though we would all like to hope that would happen. Okay, so let's go back over here. Comparatively speaking, I'm grossing about 0.21 XCH a day or 77 XCH a year. Okay, that's a significant amount. I'll have 3 years of farming before the next bull run when it goes up, or hypothetically $120 an XCH for one coin. That comes out to 231 XCH at 120 each, or $27,720. So his $5,000 investment, hoping in the next, how many years did he say? Hoping in the next 3 years of farming that a bull run will happen in the next 3 years, and that he would get from 5,000 what he invested and how much XCH he earned will get him a total of a gross of $27,720. That doesn't necessarily mean he'll get that much, but we'll go into more details of what he's saying here. Subtract off the depreciation value and the annual electricity, and we get a net income of $20,195. That's only if his electricity cost does not go up each and every single year. You're hoping that your electricity company decides to keep your kilowatt rate at 10 cents per kilowatt for the next 3 years. I find that highly unlikely. Okay? Here in New York, we had our electricity increase within 1 year 20%. Why? Because it was trying to follow inflation. Eggs, a dozen eggs, which I used to pay $1.50 for a dozen eggs, now cost me $6. there is a high inflation on everything besides my wallet and my paycheck. All right? So let's get that straight. Of course, these numbers are all hypothetical. We don't know what the true value of these coins will be 3 years from now. But obviously, this person, Mr. Rick Shepard, I'm calling you out. I'm not in a bad way. I'm just having a discussion here, is that you're hoping in 3 years, your electricity rate does not go up. There's no other cost to that. You have no failed drives, and there's no warranty on them, depending on the quality of the drives or when you purchase the drives or if you bought them used or whatever the case is. Nothing happens to that in the next 3 to, your total of 4 or 5 years of farming XCH. All right, that's fine. Now let's go into the value of annual electricity. He comes out net income of 20,195. He's saying net now. Now he's saying that after all expenses, all the costs that he has, he'll make 20,190. Now this is all speculation price, okay? Now take the 5,000 invested, the $5,000 that he invested into all this for 600 terabytes. Why, yes, you're not valued at 20K. However, you have to subtract what you put in, which is the 5K. True. That brings the net earnings down to 15,000. That's my point. Chia farming is more profitable. Fair enough. My last response to all of that, 15K minus taxes is your true net profits. And of course, taxes can be anywhere between, depending on what state you are, if you're paying city taxes on your, earnings, it's all profit. It's all profit. It's not a house. You can't like 1035 exchange your crypto to another crypto and not pay any taxes on it. As soon as you cash it out, there's going to be taxes. There's repercussions on anything you earn. You have to pay these taxes. Why? Because it's being more regulated. It's going to be monitored. And there's no way that you can just extract $15,000 of XCH into an exchange, and from that point on, direct deposit into your bank. I'm just saying, right? There's a lot of ways you can do it. And of course, I don't even know how it will work if you had, what was that called? If you had this whole offer files, right? You change Bitcoins with other people. As soon as you want it to be liquid, you have to throw it into an exchange, because who else is going to buy that off of you and give you the money for it, right? So there's a lot of avenues you can take, or you keep holding on forever and you're hoping that it will 10 times X. But of course, the price, the numbers that he gave me is it realistic? Possible, very possible. Is it being very hopeful? Is another thing from being realistic. I tend to lean towards the more hopeful than realistic. Comment below, let me know, guys, what you think in regards to that. Kraken Pax, thank you for being here for the first time. Chia plot compression, I will be talking about that. You never could go back to 1500. That is very true. You know why? And I'll explain why, you guys, very simply, why it would not be possible to go back to the 1500. Because one, there's too many coins going into circulation as I'm speaking. Every single day, every single second, the XCHs are just constantly being thrown out there. And for a price to go up, you have to have scarcity, not more in quantity. Now, you can debate the difference in saying Bitcoin, well, there's more being mined every single day and the value is going up. True, and also not true, because Bitcoin's value was going up, but it's not going up as much as, and it's, no, let me backtrack that. It has not, I don't think it's going near where the peak was from the last 2 years when everything was in the bull. Everything was all hyped up. Look at FTX, look at Voyager, and look at all these other crypto exchanges that no longer are around. Coinbase cut their staff by 20% because where does crypto stand right now? Nobody knows. No one's going to know what's happening. And for anyone who says, and I had this discussion with many others before, anyone who says, well, you know, crypto always has this bull market, bearish market, and it'll always have a bull market. But there's a difference this time. And there's a difference that never happened in all the other times. The difference is the SEC is regulating and monitoring and seeing what they can control in this crypto space now. And because of that, there's a lot less speculation. It's a lot less like, oh, I could buy Bitcoin. You know, it's like hidden money where if I make money from it, I could sell it and the IRS can't tax me on it. That's not true anymore. You can't get away from that because every exchange, I'll take that back. Not every exchange. Most exchanges in the United States have to give you your tax forms, and you will have to use that to file it. If you had an earning, now if you lost money, then fine. You don't get taxed. You can't get taxed on money that you don't have anymore, but you can get taxed on money that you made. So there's the difference, all right? Oh, damn, that was long-winded. So I want to show you guys another thing, but let me head over to the chat. I'm looking at it right now. Let's see what's going on. So let me show you guys how excited I am over a new screen. You see this right here? This is my new screen. This is my Kali Linux screen. I have another machine on the backside. Chia plot compression, like I said, I'm going to get to that. Cracking, packing. I said, what's up? Yo, first time. It could go back here. Just got my first drives in for some Chia mining. Hey, Max, Herman. First things first, it's Chia farming. Let's get the terminology correct here. Just kidding. I don't care. A lot of people say mining because, you know, it throws people off because the Evergreen is a Chia plotted hard drive, but they use Evergreen miner. So it's an Evergreen farmer. It should have been an Evergreen farmer, right? I'm just messing with you, Max. Got two 16 terabyte drives and using 6 drives I found laying around. That's awesome. How much did you pay for each 16 terabyte drives? I'm curious. 16 terabyte drives. How much is that? Retail. Let's look up retail. Wow. $175 refurb at Amazon. Would you guys buy a refurb? I don't know. I'm a little debatable on that one. Very debatable. 16. Let's see. You must have gotten a really good deal on the 16 for you to buy 2 of them and starting on that. And I'm curious to know what your other 6 drives are. But I got each one for $174 on eBay refurb. Okay, all right. So I mean, it's more or less around the same, the $175 on Amazon. Not too bad. Not too bad. Right? Not too bad. So I was just looking here. Sorry, guys. I was on the wrong screen. All right. Let me bring up my Discord. All right. So I did get some news. And the news was the GPU plotter is out for MMX. And a plot compression also. I spoke about plot compression many videos ago. And people were like, well, if you do plot compression, everyone does the plot compression, then everyone it'll be at the same space, same place where we are now. The net space will still be the same, but people will just have compressed plots, same hard drive space. Let's just say you keep it at the same hard drive space, and you would just, it wouldn't make a difference whether it's compressed or not compressed. So I spoke about that a long time ago. And I said, if it was compressed, oh, hell yeah, I would compress everything and then plot more and throw more on the hard drive. But you have to understand from why they want to compress these plots. Because one, these plots a single plot is not small. By any means, it's not small. Why is it that we have to talk about, like, at minimum, we need a terabyte just to fit a few plots? Now, if you compress the plots, you're opening the doors to a lot more people who do not want to go out and buy hard drives, but can literally, at that point, use up the couple of hundred extra megs that they have, gigs that they have on their current system, opposed to a couple terabytes. Now, I know for a fact when I have machines, and I have a whole bunch of machines, even my work computers, not one of them have extra terabyte drives of space, unless you deliberately had to go get more hard drive, more, and purchase more and then throw it in there, right? So it makes sense to compress the plots, because then you're opening the doors up for more people. Now, not just older people. Now, I know you guys who are watching me right now are probably older, hold a very steady job, and can afford to buy 18, 20 terabyte drives. But think about the gamers who are home right now, the teenagers who wants to get into crypto, which they do because they spend their birthday money on buying a GPU and they play all these fancy games, and at the same time they mine crypto because they think it's gonna pop and they're gonna make some money. So let's just say the same teenager kid, or someone who's not as well off as you and I, don't have the money to buy all these hard drives, but have a 4 terabyte drive on their system, and they have extra, let's just say, couple of hundred megs or a couple terabytes remaining. So a compressed plot on that will make a more significant difference than a non-compressed plot. My opinion. All right. Let me see what Max says over here. Running the miner through EXSI with Windows as my host on my Dell T6020 server. Got a Flux node and a high availability XRP node validated as well. Want to set up a few more nodes to eventually. Max, you are a true sysadmin. I'm curious to see what data center. I was just in a data center all day. My ears are shot. It's just annoying white noise. Huge data center, and I'm pretty sure you sound like you work in one as well, with all those fancy toys that you're mentioning here in the chat. All right. So let me get into the details of here, because, you know, like I said, my live streams are not going to go crazy 1 hour. So Mad Max came out with a GPU plotter, whole discussion on it, MMX General. He goes into some of the details. You gain about 20% free with the C1. So right now, it's only catering to the Mad Max coin, the MMX coin. All right, guys. And there's a whole new discussion in regards to it. He released it just yesterday. Mike, if you don't know who Mike is, Mike I've had on the channel, OG plotter, big Chia farmer. He was on a few of the AMAs way in the beginning, still very active. He's the one he's definitely helped me a lot in this, and he relayed that information to me that the GPU plotting is available. And if I scroll down far enough, you would start seeing him contributing to this general's chat in regards to the GPUs. Now, I have no more space. I can't even attempt to even test anything unless I start deleting plots. Very, very debatable again now, guys. You know, these plot 2.0, should I replot? Is there a difference? I'm going to hold off. I really don't want to spend any more time than I have to right now replotting. I don't find it fun. I don't find it intriguing. Do I want to save space on my hard drive just so I can fill it with more plots if there's compression and I can plot faster? I think that's the niche. You have to plot fast, and you have to plot them small enough, meaning they're compressed, and then you have more of it. So as you're buying these bigger drives, right, 20 terabyte, 18 terabytes, right, buy that. Now you can get it filled, and you can get it farming instant. Just like how you can buy a GPU right now, 4080, 4090, throw in your machine, and you can start mining right away. Not necessarily being the positive, but you can start mining right away. You can feel like you're doing something, but it's really not doing anything but burning a hole in your wallet, right? So I will go into more details of this GPU miner. I'm interested. I want to install it. I want to go through the whole motion. I have been reading the entire post, trying to figure out where we are, because I didn't follow it to a T. You know, like some people aren't here every single day. So I wish that I can get a better understanding of it. So here is right here, XOR, right? I was thinking 9 is max. The plot creation time was 153 seconds. That's 2.5 minutes. You create a damn plot in 2.5 minutes. Total plot creation time was 147. So he created a plot, this minus C9, which right here, minus C level R. Not sure the options. So the CUDA is using the GPU processors. Okay. Compression level. He created a plot in 2.4 minutes. Guys, is that insane or what? I was plotting my 270 TIBs an hour a plot, maybe 45 minutes, as I upgraded to a Ryzen 9 and all that good stuff. Outdated README. C10 is possible, but pointless. Hence, I limit to C9. Cannot farm C10. See? You learn a lot. This is Mad Max himself speaking about all this. So top plate. Wow, look at this. Total plot creation time was 1.88 minutes. Guys, it's getting to a point where is plotting even a challenge anymore? It'd be more of a challenge to plot an entire drive and then trying to copy it off to another drive because you have to transport it somewhere. Unless you're plotting directly to the drive that you're going to farm from. Huge differences, right? I have done both because you want to kind of reorganize your drives. You want to position it in some certain way. You want to put all the 18s together. You want to put all the 6 and 4s in a different section. And you want to start copying drives because some are SAS and some are SATA, and you couldn't really transfer to SAS unless you copied off the SATA ones first. I've done it all. I've done it. Why, you may ask, someone would do that is because either you're OCD, you're anal, a lot of reasons. But I did that. I did it because I just wanted to reorganize certain things, or I had to separate the farm and the harvester, and I copied off drives to different drives and moved them around. Okay? And, oh, one prime reason why I copied drives from external drives onto a farmer while, for it to farm was because I had a friend that helped me plot while I was plotting because I didn't have enough resources to plot. So we expanded it by him helping me plot. So when he gave me the external drive, I copied it off to the farmer and gave him back the empty drive so he could continue plotting again because we were trying to fill up 270 terabytes. Now you understand why I was copying plots or removing plots off drives onto another drive. So that's the whole copying process, and that's why that was a thing for me. Now, I know not everyone's going to be in the same situation. Here they talk about few of the variations of the GPUs. I don't know what GPUs make differences in these plot times. But here, XOR is also talking about sold my 3090 maybe 9 months ago for $1,500. Wow, that's pretty nice. I bought a 3090 Ti for $1,000, and that's directly from the NVIDIA website. So I just mentioned here, I didn't switch to the screen. So XOR sold my 3090, 4070 goes for 8. So now you have a bunch of these Chia guys, which I'm trying to make sense of all this. Guys, all right, let's just make sense of it. Let's put things into perspective. When Chia first came out, it was all about hard drives, RAM, whole Chia team. GPUs are useless. They mine crappy coins like Ethereum that no longer you can mine anymore. They mine crappy coins like Doge or Sheep or Bitcoin, or you can't even mine Bitcoin on GPUs, you know, ASICs, whatever. All right. Chia said no GPUs. Funny how a year later you have a whole bunch of Chia guys talking about GPUs now. Baffles the mind. Baffles. You see how fast things change. From the most hardcore Chia guys, now they're talking about GPUs. Case in point. Case in point. We have one of the most OG plotting guys right here, XOR, talking about GPUs. And not only just talking about it, plotting with it. So obviously, there is a turnaround in events now. Because not only are you going to buy hard drives, now people are going to look into buying GPUs to farm Chia. Now, as some people may say, mine Chia now because you're using GPUs. Now, I said that this GPU thing is only for MMX, but in a very short, later time, not that late, but a future date, this GPU plotting will be available for Chia. There will be no difference. Because the same guy that gave you fast plot times, Mr. Mad Max himself, will probably put this publicly available to plot Chia plots. I could be wrong, but most likely I have a strong feeling that that's what's going to happen. All right, guys, let's see what we have here. My time is up, but I'll read a few more comments. Let's see where we're at. We have 37 guys. Guys, smash that like button, please. Smash that like button. Don't forget to not smash. Do not smash that like button. So can you elaborate what they are using GPU for faster plotting? Trying to understand what you mean by that. So what they're using on the GitHub of Mad Max, he has released a version of it that you can utilize a GPU for plotting the Mad Max coins, if that's what you're trying to figure out or find out for me. Now, I haven't done it myself, so I don't know the full details of it. There may be other people who have, but their Discord is very detailed in demonstrating that. Will GPU plotting destroy decentralization? No. Decentralized meaning you have a node, I have a node, everyone has a node. Now, if you think about it from a Bitcoin perspective, everyone had a GPU they could farm. I mean, they could mine, and they mine Bitcoins. So what happened with Bitcoin? How did it become so centralized? Because people were in it for profit, started buying dedicated miners for it. And because when that happened, it became more centralized because they shifted the market. I'm not going to say, will GPU plotting destroy decentralization? I'm not going to say that it won't. There's a possibility that can. You know why? Because as soon as there's one company or one person that says, I got shit tons of GPUs, ASICs, I could plot however many plots. Every minute I could create 1 million plots, and I got all this storage. I control the market. Very possible. Very possible. Not many people can afford GPUs. Yeah, I bought one 4090 Ti, and I'm like, holy shit, I spent $1,000 on this? What the hell am I doing with it? But let me tell you what I've been doing with it. I mean, I've been password cracking hashes with it. Fun as hell. Not making any money off of it, that's for sure. But flip it around, and you got to think optimistically. I'm not making money from cracking hash passwords, but I'm learning a trade that can net me more money if I did it for a company. You see? There's always a cause and effect. Cause and effect. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Again, please hit that like button. I enjoy doing these live streams. Remember, I am live right now. I'm talking to you right now. I haven't done a pre-recorded video in some time now. I enjoy this whole live stuff, and I will have more to discuss as we're going on in the future. And check this out. This is my setup, guys. This is my setup. This is my what I just showed you guys. Oh, let me show you the other screen. So this is the TV screen. I have Green Money for a Digital World. That's the Chia Reddit page. I frequent that a lot. There's a lot of people here. Look, 0.5 petabyte farmer at 290 watts. That's tiny, right? I mean, I personally would have shucked all these hard drives and threw into an enclosure, but that's just me, which I have done. If you check out my old video, if you guys are new to my channel, that's what I've been doing for the last year. I've been chucking hard drives ever since I bought my first external hard drive. I started throwing into them enclosures. I moved them out from one enclosure to another, and I bought a rack and all these other good stuff. So if you guys check out my YouTube channel, right? If you go to YouTube, let's close out of here. Let me just show you guys really quick. Investor. A lot of crap, guys. A lot of crap. You scroll down. Let me just show you guys one really quick. As I'm scrolling, I was sitting at 27 GPUs when I shut down due to profitability. I'm ready for Chia. Damn, Brian. Oh my God. Look, 7 months ago, Chia. I'm gonna see if I can find the plot compression one, because I purposely put a WinZip logo on that, and it was like everyone was like, plot compression, that's not gonna make any difference, like, you know, like, and I was all in for it because I wanted plot compression. I think I'm getting it. I think it's coming up. Oh, so this is the frame that I bought, just so you guys are aware. I know you guys, some are new here, so I'm just showing you guys. I've done some talks about other YouTubers in Chia. I've done my fair share of GPU mining. Did I do? I built my own GPU rack. All right, so this is all right. I'm missing the Chia plot compression. I wanted to see. Oh right, Chia. Okay, that's the database compression. All right, Chia database compressed. That was when that first came out. But I did do another one about plot compression. I can't find it right now. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But it's definitely, I spoke about it some time back. Definitely some time back. So obviously you guys can see I've done a lot of Chia videos, Chia beefs, Twitter wars, brand pissed off, a whole bunch of stuff. Will Chia survive? These are the videos that I get in trouble for because people are like, why are you always flooding Chia? Well, being realistic here. Being realistic. Just like today, I'm being realistic. I want to show you guys again what I was talking about. Let me just get rid of this right here. Remember, I will link this in the video. I will link this in the description below. But Mr. Rick Shepard, we're having a discussion. Adult discussion. You told me your prices. I believe you. I believe you, but not necessarily I will believe that it will happen. I have faith that you think it will happen. And if it does, great. More power to you. But if it doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised either. I'll be more surprised that it happens than it won't happen. That's my point. All right. I'm not being negative here. I'm just being realistic. I don't see the price 4 times in the next 3-4 months. 3-4 years. Sorry. Maybe I'll bite my words. You guys can come back. Oh, look. On January 12th, 2023, you said this 3 years ago, that Chia wouldn't be $120. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. But my prediction right now is still Chia will go on the low 20s. Low 20s, guys. I was still hoping for $15, but $20 soon and near. That is my opinion. All right. What's good, man? Oh, Rick, what's going on? I want to thank you guys. Please remember to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. I will be putting out more live streams. There's a long weekend coming up this weekend. And there is a Lunar New Year celebration, because that's what I celebrate, and that's going to be coming in the next week, following week as well. And I'll have a little more time to do some more videos, live streams. I enjoy these live streams, so I want to thank you guys for being here. Let me just show you guys again. Thank you guys for being here. I have my iPhone set up, and this iPhone is active right now. So when you see this iPhone and you see the screen, the iPhone is. See how cool that is? All right. Thank you guys for coming here. Remember, hit that like, subscribe, comment below. Tell me your thoughts on the price, what I just went through on Mr. Rick Shepard. Okay? I'll post it so you guys can read it in full details, and then comment and let me know what you think about that. Do you think it's realistic? A lot of you guys may be bullish on it, and a lot of you guys may be like, I'm with poor investor. I don't think this is going to be like crazy high, but it'll still be around in 3-4 years. My honest opinion. All right? Not flooding Chia. I'm just being realistic. Thank you, and I'll see you guys again really, really soon. Take care.